Good afternoon and welcome to Business. Now, the year 2018 can be described as an interesting one. We could recount some eventful incidents, including the banking crisis. So, with just a few days to end the year, how are some economists assessing it? Let's hear from economist Peter Quarty.
Well, the growth rates were good, although we had September numbers, but it looks quite encouraging and positive that come December we'll hit our growth targets. Inflation is also on a downward trend. That is good. What for me didn't work too well is the exchange rate depreciation. It depreciated by 4.2% in 2017, and in 2018. September, it had depreciated by 7.5%. That has repercussions on import duties because our import duties are priced in dollars. The tax rate is applied. So even if you give tax concessions to importers, to businesses, a 7.5% depreciation in the exchange rate is significant, and that can affect prices on the goods on the market, that can affect livelihood. So for me, that's one aspect that we'll have to tackle. But nevertheless, if you look at the other macro targets, fiscal deficit is low. Even we recorded a trade surplus. For several years now, we've been recording deficit. So the numbers look very good. What is lacking is the issue of jobs, how we translate these macro figures into the micro level, how we create more jobs. And I'm very hopeful that come 2019, all the policies and initiatives in the budget, government is able to fund money and implement them. I am hoping that if government is able to implement 70 to 80% of what has been stated in the budget, I believe as Ghanaians we'll all be happy.
Well, so we'll bring you some more assessments shortly on the marketplace. Away from that, the National Insurance Commission has now set the first quarter of next year as a new date for announcing an increase in the minimum capital requirement for insurance firms. Earlier this year, the Commission indicated it would increase the level from the current 15 million Ghana cedis before the end of this year. There were some speculations it could have been increased to about 50 million Ghana cedis. But according to the Commissioner of Insurance, Justice Yawofori, his outfit wants to fine-tune the new directive before it is outlawed.
Recapitalization hasn't been halted. It wasn't in my speech because I had met the industry just barely 2 weeks now, and we discussed it. And I told them it's something still in the pipeline. It's a work in process. So that's why I didn't mention it. But the industry is aware that minimum capital is going to be actually revised.
We're very committed to increasing this figure before close of this year. So what happened?
Yeah, because it's a delicate thing. It's not an easy thing. There's a lot of calculation that goes into it. And it's dear to the heart of the industry. So we have to make sure that it's actually done and done well. As I stand here right now, this is about the 15th or 16th version of the minimum capital document. It's all because we just want to make sure that we're doing the right thing. We don't want to rush. Previously, I would have had a challenge actually giving you a time frame, but I believe that by the first quarter of 2019, the Commission should definitely come out with a statement with respect to the minimum capital requirement. I've had discussion with the industry, and I've given them an idea of what the board, myself and the board, what we have actually presented to the board. And as I said, there are a lot of things that goes into it. I don't know that we don't want to kill any company, but at the same time, we also want to have a strong insurance industry to actually retain a lot of foreign currency that is going out. Because the industry is not strong, we have a lot of money being repatriated out of the country. Yeah.
Business for now. I'm coming up shortly on the marketplace with more interesting developments in business. But for now, sports is next.